All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming into June 27, 2023, and the data is finally starting to turn. We had a very wild day because we had more negative data out of Europe today, but then the United States data got us moving. But what I want to show you is that if we didn't have a green day on Thursday, this would have been 6 down days in a row, pretty much unwinding the 6 up days in a row, the biggest streak since 2021. But the point I'm trying to tell you is that the European data and the Chinese data were continuing that trend from last week where it is starting to turn and give a different picture. Now, I'll tell you, should you be dramatic about this? No, not at all. There's a couple of things happening. I would look at the Nigerian Naira. There is also the Chinese yuan at a very key level, but the problem right here, right now, this is the last week of June, and we have to deal with the whole rebalancing, and then right when we start July, you get seasonality because July is literally the best month ever. And what I mean by that is since 2007, we have not seen a negative July. Even last year, the year before that, actually last year, 12%. That's why we called it the most hated rally, because it was crazy. So it's going to be wild. We have a lot of things happening, and what I am trying to highlight is that the data is starting to get more important. Even though we have Powell this week, we had a big reaction to data today. We got more stuff going on overseas, and now for the rest of the schedule, we actually got a ton of data, and we even got some more tomorrow. So, Chad, I got the whole breakdown for you. I have the plays. I have the keys. What I need from you is a like on the video. Hopefully, we see you on stream, youtube.com/thestockmarket. We're trading live every day. It's free 99. Hopefully we see you there, but actually that's all I need. Yeah, that's it. And then just put a smile on your face. It's a good day, baby. We still got 6 more months to go, but let's get into the keys. Don't let me go too crazy. But like I was telling you, the data actually had a decently big effect today. So we had the Richmond manufacturing data, but if you take a look at the chart, you see this big drop. This was right when the data came back out. If I throw on the VWAP, ever since the data, you were never able to break VWAP the rest of the day, and then we started sliding. Now, randomly throughout the days, you would get a lot of pops and the bonds reacted a little bit, but then they kind of chilled out. But overall, it seemed like most of the action arrived at the data. Now, you paired this up with what we got in the morning. That's what makes it more interesting, because we did have like a baby gap down. We weren't looking too good. We were reacting to the negative German stuff, and then right at the cash open, we got bought up, and then the data started to bring us down. So it was a mix of what happened pre-market and then that data kind of culminating into a reaction, but overall, it kept the bonds up, and now it has a lot of people anticipating what's going to happen next. And when I say a lot of people are anticipating more data, what do I mean by that is the 2-year, the 5-year, the 10-year bonds. They got a lot of activity today, and people are even pointing that out. Even if we held up what just happened pre-market, and that includes even the Russia stuff, the German data, all of that, there was already a strong bid on bonds, and people are saying, well, this is leading into all of the data sets that we have, even coming into tomorrow, because there will be a lot of real estate data, and there's going to be a lot of things that could get the fixed income markets moving, and especially any macro data watchers waiting to try to front run the Fed. There's actually a decent amount, especially given the fact that we're watching data turn overseas and our data is still kind of stuck in this weird stagflationary environment. Again, the manufacturing data today, it was better than expected, but still overall low. It was kind of a rebound, but it's still borderline contractionary. So coming into tomorrow now, you're going to get a lot of fuel for the bonds. You're going to get Canadian CPI, the durable goods right in the morning, then a bunch of new home sales data, building permits, or I think the home price index, and then the Dallas services. Every single one of these data sets, I think you're going to get a lot of reaction in the morning. And then to jump back to the bonds and what we keep talking about, this is what I have been saying since the Fed meeting. We're still trying to figure out, is this 2001 or 2006? And look, the 10-year has not really moved at all. The dollar has kind of moved, but that whole theory I've been telling you where Powell wins if the bonds and dollars stay in this range, well, It looks like it's still there, and that's where hopefully the data gets us moving. But if not, we're going to have to sift through Powell, the data, and all that, and then it's 4 weeks until the next Fed. But like I already told you, and bringing it into the final key, you got the rebalance coming up as well as the July seasonality. I think we have a huge range like we talked about yesterday. If we don't get a bombshell through either Powell, the data, or even the bank stress test, I'm not expecting much. Now, last time I said that, we ended up running up like 200 points. So we'll see what happens. But the fact is, 4,000 was the big upside point. That was near the high at the beginning of the year. I'm not too sure if you guys remember that. I think we're going to have to throw up the TD Ameritrade for this one. I was looking at the Fed future, so I'm sure we're going to bring that one up over the next couple of days. But what I want you to see is that it was like 4,100-ish, 4,200. This was the big breaking point. This was still very high compared to August. We just started going crazy. So I think we got a couple hundred points of range. A lot could still happen if there's no bombshells. We have 4 weeks until earnings in Powell, and then we got to go through again. Whatever happens this month is going to be part of the rebalance, end of the 6 months, end of June, and then July, though, has a lot of things working in its favor. So we're going to see what happens with all of that, but those are the main keys. I'm sure we're going to have an exciting, data-filled week, but let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, I got a couple of different plays. I got 2 different ones from yesterday. One of these showed up. I wanted to give you a little bit of insight, but 3M, I still want to play this one, but feel the vibes. I go over a lot of plays, and I was like, when are you going to average down? When are you going to do this? You said you like this price. And I do like certain prices, and I do like certain plays, but with 3M, I am waiting off of this lawsuit news. I am trying to take advantage of the stock selling off, having this good news about their liability, it not being as bad as expected, and then popping up. And thankfully, we were even able to flip it with the dividend and all that good stuff. But that's the main idea for the play. So that's what I'm looking for. But in the meantime, this stock is going to be a victim or a victor off of the rotation. So even today, people were asking me about 3M. It was at my $100 price. Was I going to get it or not? And I was just looking at it. But if you take note, everything was kind of going down. They weren't really working with it. If they don't have any news driver, this thing is either going to move with the market, or granted how it's moved, it's going to underperform. So that's what happened last time we traded it. So I'm really going to be looking around the catalyst, still keeping my eye out for it because I wanted that lucid play, but then they popped back up. So I wasn't able to take that average down. This is pretty much the only other play from yesterday coming into today that I'm still really eyeing and had an opportunity on. So still watching out for that. That is play number 1. Then play number 2, I realized I did not even show you the screen when I switched to 3M, so it's okay. But play number 2, Nike. I think there's still going to be some upside until earnings, but it has moved a lot. So what I'm trying to say here, Nike pre-earnings play, it is very simple. I believe at the last earnings, I think they were trading around like 121, and even before that, that last earnings, we even hit this one, it was trading between like 102 and like 116. So I think it has a little bit of upside. There's still also downside, but they were trading about like what, $6, $7 or $9 higher than their last earnings. I think there could be a pre-earnings play. I didn't grab it today because it was up so much. Does this mean I'm going to grab it tomorrow? No, I'm looking out for it and I want to see. It's something potentially, but it all depends on how the market goes. Do people really want to bring the pre-earnings play, or is it one of those where you get the pre-earnings move in the first 30 minutes and then it does nothing the rest of the day? That's kind of what it did here today as well, too. So watch out for that. That is play number 2, Nike pre-earnings. And then finally, SLG, baby. And I'm getting hyped on it because the Chad brought this up. They were saying, I don't know if they were like, Josh, I told you about it, it went up. But either way, it was a great call out. SLG, it's a REIT. They are the biggest New York City commercial REIT. It's just like MPW in the sense they had bad news starting to turn good. They sold off one of the stakes in their properties. People were worried about that property. They were able to collect a lot of cash. Stock went up 20-something%. But now here's the best part. If you're watching MPW, any of the arbitrage plays, their ex-dividend is on June 29th. We have 3 days to play it. Unfortunately, the stock already went crazy today, but depending on how it plays out, it could be a very interesting one. Like I'm saying, if you saw MPW and just in general, you could look at every REIT. They kind of all look the same, but they're one they've been selling off. People worried about them, rates, regionals, all that good stuff. They said they sold off this property. They get a catalyst, and then now their dividend here is in a couple of days. So ex-dividend June 29th. It pays out about 27 cents. So the idea is be able to buy puts before that date that cover that cost 27 cents or less, then you're going to be good. The only problem, if you go to the option chain on SLG, they only have July. If you want a 27 cent option, you're like still 30% out of the money because the stock also moved 30% today. So different opportunity, but I still like the play idea. Keep in mind some of the REITs and good news, bad news that we've seen. I think that one could definitely be interesting, but that is the third and final play. As far as anything else, I already said about Lucid. I'm still holding on that one. I'm down on that. I'm not going to average down after this little news pop and drop. That 550 is where I wanted. I thought it was going to go lower. And then they had good news today that they took a stake in Aston Martin and are providing a deal with them. I still do have a couple of bank plays that I've been writing out. And then I have an idea here with the bonds. Again, that 2-year bond play, it's been up 1,000, down 1,000, break even. I think now I'm down like 600 or so on it. The bonds haven't moved. Still riding all of those plays out. But depending on how we end this month and coming into July, if seasonality or the reality takes over, I think that could help us really set up a decent swing trade as we set up now for the final 6 months. So I hope you're ready, but that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate, healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember your skin changes every single day. You shed your skin. You are changing physically every single day. So what's happening up here? That's all I'm saying. Vibe with it, baby. Grow with it. Learn from it. And you are growing and evolving. And you are, whether you know it or not, you are changing and getting ready. Oh my gosh, Chad, don't let me go too crazy. That's it. I got a nice black shirt on too. Look, it's too big on me too though today. But it's good. I'm hyped, man. Let's go. We got almost 6 months. And then it's July. Then America Day. Then a lot of things. But that's it. I'm awkward. Okay, I love you. You drink the water. You stay hydrated. That's it. I don't want to leave, Chad. Are you ready for tomorrow? I'm excited. I love you. I miss you. God bless you. I'm here. That's game time. Horn.